and I put this phone on silent, so now I've just learned, because there's so many things that don't silence when you put it off, I'm going to turn it off. It suddenly started going beep, beep, beep in the middle of a quiet bit of the meeting.
What you should do is put it on airplane mode.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Because that apparently does turn it off.
Yeah, well, I just swapped tonight, I'll
So I
just
might
turn
just
it
put-
off.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put mine on airplane mode. And then if you put yours on silent, you might be.
And I don't bring my camera because we've now gotten to the good habit of recording and streaming the meeting ourselves now. The only reason I brought mine is because we didn't do it. So that saves me a job.
Are we live now?
Yeah, that's why I say don't say anything you don't want people to see. John's got coffee. Has everybody got what they want in a drink?
Yes, thank you.
Because it is warm again.
It's nearly 18:30.
You don't have any amendments on item number 6, do you? It's just item number 5. Okay, that's fine. And Melanie's done the minutes, that's good. We can whiz through this, hopefully.
Balls in your court, Martin.
Oh, it
It's now 18:30.
Okay,
We are good to go.
right, I'll just say thank you for coming, and we'll start the meeting. And the first item on the agenda is apologies. I've had apologies from Councillor Nichols, Councillor Nix, and Councillor Ainsley. Do we have to vote on it, or do we just?
Yeah.
We have to vote on it. So does anybody propose accepting those apologies?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And a seconder, please?
It's in me.
Okay, we have a vote then, please. Okay, then we come to item number 2, which is declarations of members' interest and applications for dispensation. A reminder to members to disclose either a pecuniary interest or other interest in any item on the agenda. The clerk cannot advise members on this. Members are personally responsible for declaring an interest. Members are respectively advised to read the Code of Conduct for more information. Councillors are also responsible for ensuring that their registers of interest are up to date within 28 days of any changes. And can I just, Melanie, do we still have a register at the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is for new members. If you do have an interest, there's a register at the back which you have to record the agenda item and the reason. Oh. Okay. We don't have any members of the public here, so we'll move on to item number. Oh, we do. So I'll just pause. I'll just pause. We've just got to item number 3. Do you have any deputations for the meeting?
No, I don't actually. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So no deputations now. Now we move on to item number 4, which is the minutes of the 12th of May, which is to confirm the accuracy of those minutes. Do we have a proposer? And I'll second that, Melanie. Do we have a vote for those minutes, please?
Just checking in.
Checking what days it is today.
Okay, have you got everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can move on to item number 5, which is the recruitment of a locum clerk and an administrative assistant to approve the recruitment of a locum town clerk and administration assistant. I'm going to pass this over to the chairman of staffing now to explain what he is proposing.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor. So the purpose is to provide short-term professional support for the team here in the office, acting during the parks vacancies. The locum clerk may advise the APO on given governance and audit and compliance, assist with drafting agendas, minutes and reports, supporting administrative tasks as directed by the APO, help prepare the information for our internal and external audit, which really is important at the moment. They may not act as the proper officer, they may not sign, issue agendas, talk summonses or statutory notices, they may not make decisions or commit expenditure, direct staff or override the APO, and they may not represent the council unless authorised by the APO. The reporting line, the local reports to the acting proper officer, and councillors must route all requests through the acting proper officer. So I would like to propose that we do that.
Okay, so is that all 4 proposals that you're proposing?
Yeah, do it all in one go, I think.
Okay, well, I will second them, but I understand that you might have an amendment at this stage.
I think.
I think I've included that, that's actually in what I just read out. So we're talking about the proposal to approach the acting proper officer, engage a local clerk. There is budget in the general reserves for that, and also basically the controlling engagement requirement in terms of council if we need to do more. And we do see very much as a interim support for the acting proper officer. So we'll look at the terms of how frequently we use this local park as the work develops.
So it's the proposals on the table are 1, 2,
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Is there any members who have any comments or questions, please? Councillor Harris, please.
I have 4 questions. What is the reason for this?
We have.
Can I
4, because they maybe one answer to all
Yeah.
4. What is the reason for this? What's the cost of it? What's the budget for it? And what's the duration?
Okay. Have you noted those questions? Okay. Is there any other questions or comments from other members? No. Okay. Then Councillor Clark, could you, if you can, answer the questions, please?
So the 4 questions are the purpose.
Reason, cost, budget, and duration.
So the purpose of this is we're at the moment entering with our town clerk off leave at the minute, off sick at the moment. We have to complete the audit and the AGAR for the current year, so that's vital that we do that on time, and that's important to provide support to Melanie for that. In terms of the term, it really just depends on how much is involved, and it's very much a flexible thing, and depending on how much time Melanie needs for this person, and we're paying at the moment £40 an hour is the rate. And the budget, I've talked about that already. It will come from the
General reserves.
some reserves.
However,
If you can respond to that, please, Councillor Harris.
yes, thank you. I can't accept that we should have an open-ended. This must have if not an end date, it must have a review date. Because as proposed, it's just that we will do these things and get these people in.
And it's 2 months, as you mentioned. Councillor Harris, this is the opportunity you have at this meeting. You can actually now table an amendment to the proposals stating what you've just suggested. So if you feel that it is open-ended,
What, for 2 years?
Oh,
no,
Second.
but you can ask for it to come back to council to be reviewed.
Could I just read a bit, give more clarity for Councillor Harris? The council really authorising the acting proper officer to determine the length of the, in the sense of the number of hours that they need to be engaged here. The budget we have already is from general reserves. We see this as very much a short-term appointment, simply to get us through the lot of work that needs to be done at the moment. So this would not be a long-term appointment.
Before anyone else speaks, our acting clerk has said that she would like to say something, so I'm permitting that.
Thank you. Just to clarify, because it is a little bit confusing. Last meeting, I was appointed temporary RFO. We need a proper officer. So one element of that is to appoint me as both the APO, acting proper officer,
Yeah.
and acting temporary officer.
Yes.
The second part of that, the locum part of that, is essential for me to get the audit and the AR done, because quite frankly, I can't do it without some help. The lady herself, who is potentially going to come in, she will only be utilised on a needs basis. So it isn't that she's going to come in every day for, say, 3 months. It will just be like if council approved tonight, she can come in tomorrow and help me crack on with the audit. Next week, we should be in a position where we get a fit note from the clerk, so we will have a better view of what's going on there. So potentially, it would be prudent then to keep reviewing the situation once when we've done the ADOM, when we've got the paperwork through, and then also when we know if and when the clerk is going to come back.
Who is the we? Who is
Council.
we are going to? So that will come back to council each time we want to renew it over and above the initial 2 weeks, is that?
We
It
haven't.
says here 2 months.
No, it's got to be 2 months, John.
2 months.
Yeah.
We're being very cautious because Chris Clark, as chairman of staffing, does have delegated powers in this situation to go out and do as he pleases to satisfy the operation of the council. But to be cautious, so no one's accused of spending money they shouldn't, it's come to council. And I would be very happy if, because I don't see it going past the audit thing, we might get an admin assistant past the audit or something like that. But I would be very happy if you could do a proposal to say that this came back for review at the July meeting, an amendment to the proposal, so that we've got a complete update of the situation, and because it is open-ended, we could end up having the local clerk come in for 2 years, so I understand that. So would you be happy to
I
make,
would make that a suggestion.
yeah, so if you could make a proposal for.
I'll make that proposal to review the situation.
I would say the July
In
meeting,
the July meeting.
That'd be great.
you've got that, and I will second that. That's fine, and can we have a vote on that, please? Okay? Right, are there any more questions or comments on this before we move to the vote? Because it's now 5, we've voted on 1 for it to be reviewed, but we now need to vote on the 4, which has been proposed and seconded, so, but I don't want to stop anyone having any comments or suggestions before we move on, because once we voted, that's it.
I do have one question.
Okay, yeah, that's.
So reading the information about the potential person who's going to help, it says here that she charges a set amount per day.
Yes.
At £400 at 7.5 hour day, prorated by the hour. And there is a commencement of the contract initial deposit of £3,850 plus VAT, equating to an estimate of 1 month's fees based on the current estimate of 2 days a week working.
I didn't receive that information, so it's.
And if you continue, I think it's refundable, isn't it, at the end of it?
Deposit, yes, the invoicing interval is monthly, the deposit is returnable at the end of the contract.
Yeah.
So I guess whatever you don't use, they will refund it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That's fine, no other question.
Okay, so can we, I think we're happy to move to the vote then, please. And we're voting on proposals 1, 2, 3 and 4.
In my block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, that's sensible. As long as when we minute it, that is,
I will.
thank you. I'm not telling you what to do,
I know.
just saying that it's got to be clear, doesn't it? Okay, so can we have a vote, please, with show of hands for Melanie to minute? And I'm. Okay,
Can I just be clear on that then? So the proposer is still, so the proposer for this is Christopher Clark.
and I seconded
And you
it.
seconded it, yes.
And then there
so
was
it-
a proposal for a
from-
review in
Yeah,
July.
I've got
You
the
got that?
amendment, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we want you to be happy on that, so that's fine.
And should be with us tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's your thing to sort out with Melanie, that's fine. Can I move on, Melanie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so now we move on to the last item on the agenda, which is number 6, HR services approval, to approve the provision of the comprehensive HR service provider. And I'm hoping that Chris Clark is going to be just proposing the one that's fully comprehensive.
Yeah, basically, we had a meeting last week with an organisation called Peninsula HR. And Peninsula HR can provide us with a full comprehensive HR service. They did show us a list of the people with whom they have contracts locally. They provide all the HR services for Stamford Council and also Bourne. So and they are local in that sense. And they will be able to provide us with everything that we need in terms of HR support. And the reason we need to have them is because we need to make sure that everything that we're doing in terms of HR activity within this council are up to date and within the law, and we have the necessary backup that we need to have in order to make sure that that remains the case. As you know, we've got a lot of things going on at the moment, and we do need to have that comprehensive HR support, and Peninsula are able to do that.
I think you may have missed off the important point of this, is that they were willing to carry out the negotiations with the other staffing issue, which I don't think we should talk about in public. So when it's in minute, they will take out I mean, you can't talk about the finer details, but we can say that they can help out with that. And the other thing was that the one that we approved about a month ago retrospectively, unfortunately doesn't offer support in the way this one does to our staff. So this supports the council and our staff, which is very important ongoing, because I felt that none of us are qualified to deal with issues that this council's experienced. So now I'm going to open it to the floor if anybody has any questions or comments. I'm going around just in one way, so I'll start with Councillor Harris again.
Well, I was saying 4 questions. Reason, cost, duration and budget. Do we have a budget? How long will we have them engaged for? Can we afford whatever it is that we're thinking they might charge us? And I guess reason, I know the answer to the reason.
Okay, so the contract will be for 2 years. The amount is £339 a month is what we will pay them for that over that period, and they will essentially take all our HR work and run that on our behalf. So we haven't got to worry about all the kind of support that we need to do. Peninsula HR will be able to do that.
I think,
8,000.
8,000 over 2 years.
okay. Councillor Padmore.
Yeah.
Councillor Padmore, please.
I've actually used Peninsula before, they're very good. My question is, when I use them, they were very reluctant to take on previous known cases, because of otherwise everybody would just have a problem and then engage them with their services. So that was one of my questions, is they're committed to actually helping us with the thing. Also that, I know that they do help with a lot of policies and procedures to do with HR. You have to go to them and ask them, and they will give you the assistance back, but they won't proactively come in here and look around things. But overall, my experience with them is very good. I think that they certainly helped when I needed them, but it was the retrospective thing that I was concerned about.
I spoke with them this morning and mentioned that very point, and they agreed that they will take that on. So we've had a meeting with them, explained the situation that we're in, and they're very happy to take that matter forward. So they did want to make that absolutely certain, that otherwise, we'd be paying twice essentially, we'd be paying their fees plus additional fees. But they assured me today that they would be happy to take the case.
That was a question I was going to ask, were they happy to take it? So that's been asked. Do you have anything, Sonia?
No.
Yes, normally I would go to you for your answers, but you've already given them, but then I'd go back to the.
Oh, sorry.
So, so it's fine. Councillor Harris has something to come back on.
Why 2 years?
Um,
I understand that we need some help, personally, but £8,000 over 2 years? Are we foreseeing problems that I'm unaware of down the line, or is that the minimum they will work for us?
There's a lot of work that we need to do in terms of policies and procedures and those sorts of things, and putting in place proper HR structures. And that's what we need to do at the moment. We need to make sure that everything we do in terms of employment is up to the mark.
So it isn't at the moment.
Well, it needs to be reviewed, and we need some support to make it happen, to get it in place. And I think the thing, and picking up the point that Councillor Badmore was saying, is that they came across as a very professional organisation. I went on to one of their webinars the other day. That seemed to be very professionally run. I think there'll be a huge benefit to us to make sure that everything we're doing in terms of human resources practices is up to the legal. There's lots of changes in law taking place at the moment. We need to make sure that we're up to the mark on that.
Rather than a conversation, I have one more question.
One more, yes, we can.
Will they also give training to councillors?
They won't. They will do some training, but they may take them back to. I don't think they would do council training.
Council training.
Council training like we get with LRAC, but they will provide training in policies and practices. But we tend to go to LRAC for our councillor training, so that we would continue to do that, because that very much is tied into the work.
I've not seen any of that, and I've been here 8 months.
We had some training from LRAC.
We did.
Well, one fellow who.
No, but John, I'll talk to you after, but it is up to councillors to go onto the LRAC site and look for council training, to be fair, to see what courses they want to do as well. We can bring LRAC in-house, like we did with Code of Conduct.
That's a risk. That's a risk. And you're looking at me thinking, well,
We're going a bit off track.
well, we're not. We're absolutely on track.
Not when it's councillor training.
Yes, yes, it is. It's very relevant because this budget could be blown in an instant. Okay, so they will come in and sort out our policies and procedures. But if we have councillors, such as me or you, who don't know what the policies are, I didn't know anything about LRAC and how to get on or what advice is there.
Yeah, so on every Monday, a round robin goes out, and in that round robin, there's a list of the upcoming training courses which you can say if you want to go on them. I understand though there is a large amount of emails that potentially is getting lost in. So I will try and think of something else to make it more obvious.
It is a very long list of activities, and there are links to various things that are taking place and updates and so forth that come out on those round robins.
Surely there should be a minimum standard that we should have almost forced to understand that.
Like a mandatory training
Yes.
plan,
Yes,
I would like to say that.
yes.
We used to have new councillor training. And I say we used to because that happened with me in 2010 and it hasn't happened since. That can be organised through the LRAC for everyone for a refresher. What I'm getting from you is, and probably from Chris, is that these people would probably be wanting to train the staffing committee. And this is why I asked the clerk to get an HR company to council, and then he just did it, was because in the best will of what I'm trying to say is that none of us are qualified to run staffing issues, and that's why we have staffing issues, because they just drag on and on and on. So hopefully now, with an HR company, if we approve it this evening, which I'm hoping that we're going to go to the vote, we won't ever have that situation again. And this company, if Melanie felt that there was a problem and that the chairman of staffing and the chairman of the council cannot help her, she would be able to pick up the phone and say, please help me. And it's the same for the staffing committee. We don't know what to do. Can you help us? That's what the purpose of this is to bring some help to the staffing committee and our staff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm assuming everybody has said all that they want to say. I don't want to cut people off, but I'll give you the last opportunity if there's anything else anyone wants to say. No, you're okay. So can we go to the vote then? Because I assume we are just going to consider approving this contract for the one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you've given a proposal and I seconded it. Can we have a vote, please, on accepting it? Okay, well, what do we call that? 6:56, I close this meeting, and the date and time of the next meeting is not as on the agenda there, it's the 28th of May at 6:30, and that's quite a big subject. It's mainly the Vale. But thank you very much for coming in, and I hope that what we've achieved this evening is going to help
And help us move forward.
move forward to a good year. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
See, I'm not too strict, but in a main meeting,